Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Car Focused. Now in this video, I know it's been a while since my last video, but been busy with work, etc. It's very hard to find the time to make these. But this video, it's time to summarise this car after owning it for a year. Now I've actually owned this car now for about 13 months, but picked it up in March 2017, and with it being April 2018 now, I thought it'd be fitting just to kind of do a bit of a summary / review as to how I've kind of got on with this car over the past year, what I've done with the car, and how much I've spent on the car out of necessity. So not including modifications, you know, things that I need to actually spend on the car. Now, I'm going to try and do this video without cutting any edits in at all, so it's a bit like a bit of a one-take video. So we'll see how we get on, but it's basically going to be me just sat here talking. So I picked the car up in March 2017. Obviously wanted to Focus RS for ages, finally managed to get one. I was really happy, you know, living the dream, blah, blah, blah. Had an amazing initial few thousand miles, ran the car in, and then after 1,000 miles, I was able to kind of open the car up and finally start to have some fun. Now, everything was all going really well. It got to about 3,000 miles, and I started to notice a lot of wear on my driver's seat bolster on the Recaro. Now, I've got the standard Recaros, and they do protrude quite a lot, so when you are getting in and out of the car, it's hard to kind of avoid them, but I was trying to be careful when getting in the car, but there was kind of a lot of wear occurring. So I contacted my dealer, TC Harrison Ford, and they had a look at the seat and they agreed to replace that under warranty. So they took it to an upholster, and the Recaro seat was reupholstered with fresh leather, and it was an amazing job actually, like really tidy job. You wouldn't have even noticed that it had been done. So the seat now, it's got a small bit of wear on it, but it's just wear which I'd expect after doing 15,000 miles, which is what I'm on now. So I've done 15,000 miles in 13 months. So that was the first kind of thing I had done, but that was warranty, didn't cost me any money. So kept enjoying the car, you know, I did a few videos as you saw. Got to 10,000 miles, and then I got the oil change required warning come up on the dash. So I decided to do, you know, a few inquiries with servicing, etc. Ford wanted well north of £200 for a service, so I decided to contact Mountune. Contacted Mountune, and they quoted me, I think it was like 165 all in for a service. It was around there, that sort of price. Having heard good things about Mountune, I booked the car in, and the car went in there for a service. While it was in there having its service, I had the sound suppression chamber fitted, because a month or so before that, I'd fitted the K&N air filter with the Mountune silicone hose, which goes to the airbox. And when you do that, if you don't upgrade the sound suppression chamber or have one fitted, you get this really annoying bottle top whistle noise. So I had that, so I thought I need to get this suppression chamber to cure that. So had that fitted at Mountune, that cured the bottle top noise, and I continued enjoying the car. So yeah, you know, loving life as usual with a Focus RS, no problems at all. And then the head gasket issue starts to creep up. So, you know, people's engines start failing, it becomes widespread across the internet. A couple of YouTubers had been documenting it in detail, Fezzer and Mark Cup. It was all getting very negative, and I was kind of like, oh God, this is doing my head in. I was getting quite annoyed with it all, to be honest. And then there was a kind of a thing where you could go and check your own head gasket. There was, you can see part of the head gasket protruding between the block and the head, and if it had like two holes in this little bit of metal, it was a Mustang head gasket. So I decided to go and check my head gasket, so I got my camera down there with a torch and had a look, and it turned out I had the dreaded Mustang EcoBoost head gasket fitted. Now, not long after this, a field service action appeared on the Ford Pass app, linked to my VIN number, my specific car, and it was about head gaskets failing, basically. So I saw that on the app, and I decided to phone Ford. So I phoned TC Harrison again, and they got me on the system, and they said, right, okay, we'll order the parts in, because it was a new head gasket. It was a high flow, high pressure fuel hose, and a couple of other bits as well. They said, when the parts come in, we will contact you, and then we'll do the work on the car. So okay, while that was all happening, you know, I kind of forgot about it almost. I then got the Ultima 2 Plus map, the Dream Science remap, which I documented on my last video, which I was blown away by. Obviously fitted the 2 Plus map initially, which I did the video on, and then I reverted down to the Ultima, the stage 1, purely because the 2 Plus is primarily designed to be ran with a decat and a downpipe, which I don't have. So yeah, I went down to the Ultima and I ordered the Mountune intake system to complement it. So I'm running now the full Mountune intake with the Ultima Dream Science map, which is a much better map for the modifications I've got. I'll do another video on that map actually and go into detail about exactly how it performs. So if you do want to see that, just let us know in the comments box below. Anyway, yeah, so I had that fitted. I was loving the car again. The car was quicker, it was just better in general, just felt amazing. A month or so later, I decided to chase Ford up again on the parts because I'd not heard anything and they were still waiting. And they said they'd be in touch with me. Okay, fair enough. And not long after that, I started to notice, when I started the car up in the mornings, a puff of smoke straight away. As soon as I start the car, I'd get a puff of smoke before the condensation started to come out of the exhaust, which I thought was a bit weird. So I thought I'd keep an eye on things with the car. So I made sure I looked at the coolant, which was up to the maximum level. And then about a week later, I started the car in the morning and I got the dreaded misfire, the bob, 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 you know, the misfire, for about 30 seconds. And then I got my camera out and I filmed what happened after that 30 seconds. And this is what happened after the 30-second misfire. So as you can see, that is not a normal amount of smoke. That is a lot of smoke. Now granted, these cars smoke quite a bit on cold start, but that was another level of smoke. So I thought, right, I'm going to check the coolant. So I checked the coolant again and the coolant had dropped. It was now on the minimum line. Over about a week and a half, it had gone from maximum to minimum, which is a big drop. So I phoned TC Harrison Ford and explained the situation to them. I said, look, I think my head gasket is failing. And they said, right, okay, we've started to get the parts in now, but there are obviously other cars that are booked in, but we can squeeze you in on the Monday. Now this was the Friday, so, you know, they managed to kind of find a slot and fit me in on the Monday, the following Monday. So I was like, excellent, okay. Hasn't done too much damage. So the car went in on the Monday. I was given, you know, I feel very fortunate, but I was given a Focus RS Edition in nitrous blue as a courtesy car. I posted some pictures up on Instagram and they said we'll need 3 days to do the work. I was like, okay. So after the first day, they gave me a call and they said, right, the car has passed the pressure test, so it doesn't need a new cylinder head, it needs a new head gasket. So I was like, okay, fine. So they said it'll be a couple of days and we'll give you a call and you can come and pick the car up. So they fitted the new head gasket. 3 days later, they called me up and they said, it's all done, but we want to do an extended road test of approximately 60 miles just to be sure that everything is as it should be. Are you happy for us to do that? So I said, yeah, okay, I'm happy for you to do that, as long as the car isn't put in drift mode and, you know, drifted around all over the place by one of your kind of junior techs. I don't care. So they put a senior tech on it. He went out for 60 miles, did the drive, and he was happy that everything was as it should be. He did actually pick up, though, drive mode selection not available, which is quite a common fault on these. So they run a diagnostics on it and it said to run a PCM update, a power control module update, which is what they did, and that has cured the drive mode selection unavailable issue. So that was all done. I've collected the car and that was 457 miles ago. So I've done 457 miles on the new head gasket. Dream Science Ultima Stage 1 has been re-uploaded and the car has been absolutely fantastic. Now, I don't know if it's like a placebo effect or anything like that, but the car does feel stronger. When I picked it up from the dealer, it was obviously stock form. The car felt strong, and then when I put the map on, it just feels incredible. Low down torque is there, power through the rev range is there. is spot on. I couldn't be happier with the car at the minute. Now, nearing the end now of the journey, of the year journey, my front tyres now are very low on tread. They're on the wear bars now, so like close to the legal limit. So I've ordered another set of Michelin Pilot Super Sports, which have now arrived and they're sat in my garage. They were £320 delivered, which wasn't too bad. I got them from Camskill. I know you can get them from cheaper places, but I like to use a company online just to have a bit of fallback, rather than using, you know, some random guy I've never met before. So all I've spent on this car is £165 service at Mountune and 320 quid on tyres, which really isn't that bad. The brakes are still good, and all the other bits I've had done have been done under warranty. So that's one of the joys of having a new car. You know, if something goes wrong, you don't have to pay for it to be fixed because it's covered under warranty. So overall within the year, I know obviously having a new head gasket is quite a big thing, but every time I drive this car, it puts a smile on my face, and you kind of forget about the problems that you may have had. And I've got no regrets whatsoever in buying this car, and I am happy to keep this car for another year at least. I normally keep cars for 3 years and then change, but I'm happy to keep this car for at least another year before I even consider buying something else. Now, obviously, because I've been really happy with the guys at Dream Science, I've been looking into more modifications from them, and I've been eyeing up the handling pack. So it's I think it's like 13mm spacers to bring the wheels out slightly wider, and then drop the suspension around 20mm, I think it is, 20 to 30mm at the front and back. And then I'm going to get the Mountune mudguards fitted. So basically the car will be lower, wider, and it will have the protection of the mudguards to counteract the wider track with road rash coming up and hitting the side of the car. So that's something else I'll be documenting in the future. Hopefully I can get up to Dream Science in Hull and document the process of them fitting that. So yeah, that's pretty much my summary of this car for a year. There's been no horror stories or anything like that. Fantastic little car. It's got a few little stone chips and, you know, the odd little scuff here and there now, but what do you expect for a car that's used most days and that's done 15,000 miles? So if you've got any questions, guys, you want to ask about the car, if you think I've missed anything out about long-term ownership, then by all means put them in the comments box below, and I answer every comment usually. I try my best to reply to all the comments, and I'll do my best to answer your question. So that's it, guys. So until the next video, stay tuned, take care, thanks for watching, feel free to subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next one.